Hello, this is a to whom it may concern, or in the case of my students, you want to know what's going on with Mr. Green. Why haven't I been there, or am I not going to be there for the remaining part of the school year? Because I know that you were anticipating me returning the last day of April, first day of May, right about there, and that won't be the case, unfortunately, and it's hard for me to not be there. I really wish I could be, but the situation that excuse me that I'm in as it relates to my health and my lung function has not improved to where I want it to improve or needed to improve to let me come back to the classroom, and that's been difficult to accept, but it's the reality that I am in, and I know that it's not been ideal for you as students, but there's no better way or other way it could be dealt with. And in fact, the situation that I am really in, which I've known about for a few weeks, but I've been trying to make sure all the pieces were put in place, is that I am going to be listed for a lung transplant in the next coming weeks. And so I've been doing a lot of tests and things that were needed to get myself on that track to be ready to be listed. And it's the absolute best option that is in front of me in terms of returning to, in terms of quality and quantity of life, returning to something that resembles what I was doing back in January, which was being a full-time teacher and full-time, dad and husband and all the things that I really was enjoying about life and wanted to have in my life I could do. And the reality now is that I'm on oxygen all day, and I can't be as mobile and functional as I want to be. And the other aspect is that even when I can be functional and mobile and do things, uh, my ability to have enough stamina to do more things on top of that and return to not just doing some of the things, but doing an entire week's worth of things just isn't in the cards based on where my lung is at. My lungs are at, because the infection that they got in February was really severe, but the infection was fought off. But in the effort to fight off the infection, my lungs were swollen and sore, and just already they weren't really great lungs to begin with. They were lungs that really don't do what they're supposed to do, but I was making it work, and I was getting by. But based on what happened, there's just no way for me to do and be what I was capable of prior to the infection in February, which is why here we are, the end of April, and you're hearing this information. So the transplant is the best next step for me, and it all comes down to, being as healthy as I can going into the procedure, and then of course there's how long I may or may not have to wait once I'm on the list, and the finding the perfect match, and all the things that go into something as significant as a lung transplant. So there are a lot of things that we're going to be waiting on hearing, and time frames that are totally unpredictable. My goal is to return to what I was doing prior to all this, which is to be a teacher and doing what I really love to do. And it has meant a lot to have your support, and the cards you sent, and the things that remind me that you are there doing your best work and trying to deal with an imperfect situation. I understand that. I've really been grateful to my subs who have been just really making the best of the situation, doing everything they can to let me be home recovering, but also keep me in the loop in situations where that's necessary. So going forward this year, uh, I'm going to be focused on getting healthy, and as healthy as I can be prior to the surgery. So um, they've got it under control. I know that you can rely on the substitutes to, uh, make sure that things uh, that you were hoping would happen, like learn a bunch of stuff and write an awesome essay and go ahead and get that grade you're hoping for at the end of the semester, that those things still happen, just that I won't be the person there facilitating that. So I know that this is maybe something you were not at all expecting, or that is really upsetting information, and I would have loved to communicate it to you in some other way, or never have to communicate it to you at all, but at the start of the year, when I say, well, I have this lung disease I've been dealing with for 30 years, and don't worry, it won't affect you, that this is the first year that's not been true, and this is really hard for, I think, all of us to accept that this is the way it will be for the remainder of the year in terms of me not returning to the classroom. But I look forward to returning and seeing you on campus again, and being able to show off, not my scars, that would be a little inappropriate to pull my shirt up, but to show off my amazing lung capacity. I have a friend who has the same illness that I have. He had dealt with it for about 30 years, until he had a similar situation where his lungs just stopped working the way that they had prior to that day, and he then needed a lung transplant too. He's since had a transplant, and he returned to work, and approximately 9 months after the surgery, he climbed all the stairs inside the Sears Tower as a way to raise awareness for lung or organ transplant. So in that regard, I look forward to this surgery actually improving things, although it sounds like a really shocking scenario, and oh my gosh, it's really the kind of thing that's going to not just get me back to where I was, but well beyond where I was in terms of my health and my ability to be a teacher, father, husband, all those things. So I wish I wasn't sending this message out there, but I am, and I know that I still have your support, and whether it's you want to say a prayer or send out good vibes or positive energy, whatever you want to do or are so inclined to send out there into the universe, I appreciate that, and I know that I will be better than ever as a result of all this. And you don't have anything really good in life unless you deal with some rough stuff along the way, if only to be able to compare and really appreciate what's great, because what's not great. And so that's what I'm thinking now and looking forward to, and I hope that you all have the best rest of the school year you can have, and that you are making the most of the time you have at school, because honestly, you don't realize what you've got till it's gone. I know that's a cliche, and it's also a lyric and a song or two, but it's true. So for 9 years, I was able to teach and be the person I wanted to be, and I will be that person again. This is just a timeout from that, I guess you would say. So thank you for watching this, just to get an update on what's going on with me, and for the support that you've already given me, and that you've shown through the cards that I got, and the emails that always reference the "I know you're not feeling well" kind of thing. And I will be in touch, and I will see you around. So good luck with everything the rest of the school year. And I know Holden Caulfield says it's terrible when people say good luck, but I'm saying it anyway. Good luck.